going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna drop another video today, and I'm gonna talk about this topic again, which I've spoken about this topic, to every length, especially back in the past, but I have not made this video in quite some time. But I want to reinforce the reason I decided to leave the United States. I had a pretty good paying job. I drove a big truck for a long time, drove fuel, made pretty good money, had a nice car. I've been married before. I've done it all. Like my experience has pretty much brought me here. Why I really decided to leave America is because of the shit leadership. And it's because there are no real leaders anymore. It's because they're fighting fighting social media, while at the same time enabling and empowering other social media platforms to become bigger and bigger. They're fighting free speech. The censorship agenda is in full swing. But just take a look at this clip. If this, for real.
$159 billion left. And Joan Shengang, I'm going to pronounce right, Shanga, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. Like to be able to. Anyway, Anyway, America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. The idea that.
We can't say women anymore. We've got to say bodies with vaginas. You can't say hip, hip, hooray anymore because it could offend people with a hip injury. You can't have an admissions office at some universities now. You have to call it Office of Enrollment Management, because if you say admissions office, that suggests somebody's going to be rejected. You can't now say rapist or murder. You have to say justice involved person. So you weren't raped, you were involved with a justice involved person. It's pretty widespread in universities and Fortune 500 corporations. Well, who is it that's pushing this? Well, I'm telling you who's pushing it. It's virtue signaling corporations and universities.
and I don't like politics anymore. I used to go down that rabbit hole, but I don't give a damn. The thing is we don't have real leadership. We have senile, old, corrupt, shoe-in politicians running the show, stealing our freaking money, raising our taxes, driving inflation through the roof via the Federal Reserve and government debt. The U.S. spends more on the military in one single year than the entire economy of Thailand. 1.5 times the entire size of the Thailand economy. The GDP here is about 500 billion US dollars. But the US spends 800 billion on our military. And listen, this is no bash or disrespect. I love our military. I believe it. But I think that the higher ups, use the military as, I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? It's the, like Eisenhower talked about it, the military industrial complex. And when it comes to Boeing, for example, even Boeing, the whistleblower that came out just a few days ago talking about the conditions working there and some of the corners they're cutting, building new aircraft, because this company has so much pull and power and lobbying power in our own Congress and stuff. But this guy just vanishes and dies suddenly 2-3 days after coming out and talking about this. It's like Jeffrey Epstein, for example. This guy gets somehow taken down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't deserve to go, but what I'm saying is people don't understand that the true people that are running the show, the powers that be, your elected officials, your quote unquote leadership or lack thereof, it's embarrassing to the world. It's putting you at risk. It's putting your money, your financial future at risk. It's throwing your culture in the toilet in the name of winning an election. You know, throwing out little dog whistle stuff, trying to pit people against each other. You know, black, white, men, women, whatever you want to call it, Democrat, Republican. Listen, people are people. And our leadership has forgotten this, but it's gotten so far out of hand. I don't see a solution until it collapses. You know, it's going to collapse on itself at some point. The financial system is going to collapse on itself. It is a huge hyper bubble right now. Trillions of dollars in debt. People don't even really understand how much a trillion is. It would take you 32,500 years to count to 1 trillion. Just to count to 1 trillion. 32,500 years to count to 1 trillion. And our government is racking up $1 trillion of debt every 100 days. This is unsustainable. They're starting wars. People are like culturally breaking down. Inflation's out of control. People can't afford like a average, decent, honest like standard of living anymore, no matter how hard they work. Divorces are through the freaking roof. Everyone's jaded. Everyone's mad. This is why I left America. There's nothing for me there. You know, I've voted. I've done my part. I will try to do what I can. I'm not perfect. I love America. I love many of the people in America are really good, wonderful people. We've had great leadership on occasion from time to time, but it's not often. And usually these people are taken out. I mean, you can go back through history, through the last 40, 50 years, you know, talking about, you know, oh, I hate saying trigger names. I don't want to get any issues. You know, I'm talking about I think it was 69 or 61, JFK. You know, just every president that stood up to anything has been just either completely taken out, unalived, or completely demolished by the media. The media is a joke. It's bullshit. It's propaganda. And we all know it. Like, I live here. I can afford my medications. I can afford the same medications that I got in the U.S. for pennies on the dollar. But somehow we're forced to go through third-party administrators, you know, who jack up and they're going to take their cut too. Powerful lobbyists. You know, same thing with the big companies and corporations. Like, another thing, living here in Thailand, it's small businesses, man. Small businesses are 99% of the businesses here. 99. I'm not joking. I am not joking. Not, you know, 80% or, you know, 70% or whatever you want to say in the U.S. I'm talking about small businesses are 99% of all the entire economy here. When it comes to food, services, things you need, getting something fixed, you know, people coming out and doing their thing. People are very versatile. There's a lot of ways to protect what you make. You know, when you make money here, you know, I'm not saying I'm making money. I'm going to not say too much. But when the people of Thailand make money, they get to keep their money, you know, and prices are still pretty relatively affordable. Now, there are some discrepancies when it comes down to like minimum wage and things like that. Like, people really, they're really people that don't have much at all of anything. But these people still are happy. Their culture isn't breaking down. Why did I leave America? Like, why not? Why not? There is nothing for me there. Nothing. Nothing, like, honestly, it's a losing battle. I believe that it's a game of chess, and the people have already been put in checkmate. Many people realize this. Some people still don't think so. This is why they're debating politics. You know? Man, these people are not elected. They're chosen. You know what I'm saying? The people in power. The powers that be. Your leaders. Everything. It's all bullshit. Everything that you hear, everything you see. And I'm not saying that you're being fed complete lies, but lies of omission are just as bad. You know, it's amazing that you don't see the news running positive articles anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that are doing good things. You don't see that stuff anymore. It's all negative. Everything. meant to keep people in a constant state of paranoia, constant state of fear. You know, that fight or flight type stuff. And people get burnt out, and it destroys a society. It's happening so quick. People know what I'm talking about. In 10 years, I can't believe how far it's fallen. In just 10 years, 20 years especially. It's amazing to me. It's sad. I am not advocating like anything. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. As I sit here in Thailand, I'm telling you why I left. Why I'm justified in it. I think it was a good decision, a great decision to get out. Will I ever return to America? You know, to visit? Yes, but I think it's a beautiful country. I think it's got a lot of good things going for it. It does. But it's like, you know, the Brave New World, you know, story unfolding, in my opinion. You know, a technocracy that's taking everything down, you know, and then they're trying to ban ways for people to come together, you know, even when it comes to like TikTok. It's disgusting. You know, they're not banning these other social media platforms. It's because they're not in their pockets. You know, if you watch the congressional hearings, you know, this guy, the CEO is from Singapore. Like, it was embarrassing, the questions that they were even asking him, not to him, but it was embarrassing on our part. Like, these guys are literally like trying to accuse him of being like some Chinese spy. You know, as if these other companies aren't out here taking your information, you know, collecting data, selling and trading data. Get the hell out of here, man. It's a choice, a free choice that we have to make. We're aware of the dangers and consequences and the ramifications of this. We are. But if we choose to engage in this, leave us alone. You know, this is the thing. I believe it's a threat. The threat is the fact that people can according to algorithms, come together, unite, share ideas, and really put the truth out there. And they do not like this because they can't control the information. That's why they don't like it. It's simple as this. So, with that said, leaving America was an excellent decision, in my opinion. I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I see that, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. It is there. Like, what's coming is that's another story. Like, financial Armageddon's coming, man. There are going to be consequences for the sins that everyone's been, like, perpetrating, you know, especially the leadership, you know, starting and instigating wars with other countries and shit like this, and, you know, using the dollar as a weapon. You know, there's ramifications coming. And people are going to be like, the average good regular people are going to be caught in the crosshairs. The rich elite are not going to pay this price. It's going to be you. So with that said, leave, in my opinion, do what you can. Try to save for a year or two and get out. That's just good advice. I know that some people can't just do that. Well, I've got family, I've got kids. You can, I'm not saying that, you know, I expect you to do this. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you have this opportunity, in my opinion, I believe if you're a single person, if you can save up a little bit, like, the best decision is to leave. It will set you free. You will be happy. You will see how the world is a better place. Like, it literally is. To me, the stuff I see in America, people just breaking in cars, robbing stores, all the tent cities, and like people on fentanyl, all the mass layoffs, the lack of retirement anymore with any company, you know, to the gender wars and the lawsuits, the divorces. When I see all this stuff, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this is not for me. You are literally trying to stay afloat in quicksand. So, with that said, I hope this helps. I love y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Throw me some love on this channel. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.